Hey people, how you doing out there? I want to tell you about my journey. Um, Here, I didn't even know I was in the fourth stage of ovarian cancer. What happened was my sister and I, we was going to Gathering of the Masters. Oh, we was hyped, driving all the way to Atlanta, Georgia, to the Gathering of the Masters, seeing all the people that I watch, Yaki, B Dell, 1014, Red Pill, Blue Pill. Oh, we was hyped about going. So we get to Georgia, having a good time. I drive all 7 hours to get to Georgia, and then when we came back home from Georgia, I was still hyped. I was still hyped about the trip. I was vibrating so high about the trip. Nothing. It just been just so happy. So we get back in about maybe a week or so after we get back from Gathering of the Masters. I have this dream, and in this dream, I see these people in white coats, and they told me. Now they're not speaking to me verbally, but they're speaking through me through the mind, and they tell me to lay on the table. I was reluctant to lay on the table because, first of all, I didn't know who they are. I could never see their face, but I could see these white coats. So somehow I end up on the table. And as I end up on the table, I'm looking at my body on the table. And every time I come back to get my body, they tell me, we're working on it. So the next day I got up and I told my sister about it. And so later on that night, I try to find my way back to where that table was, and I see those white coats again, and they tell me, we're working on it. So this happened for like a couple days. They're working on it. They're working on me. So my stomach started bothering me, and I didn't know why. Holistically, we doing this and that. We going to the health store, and I've got people there trying to help me. My sugar, diabetes numbers is so high, it's ridiculous. And I just didn't know. I was taking all kinds of things from the health store, as well as, my sister giving me stuff, and still my stomach, I just didn't know what was wrong with it. So finally my sister said to me, listen, you need to go to the emergency room because they have machines there, because you can't fight something you don't know about. You can't fight anything you don't know nothing about. Because I'm thinking I just got indigestion or just an upset stomach, but it keeps coming back. So as I get to the emergency room that day, like I said, that's the only way I got there. I was in there for 8 hours. Finally, they took me in so they can give me a CAT scan. It's the first time I heard these words. So when she put, the needle in my arm, my vein collapsed. It did it twice. She said to me, are you a cancer patient? I never heard that word. I said, excuse me? No, I'm not a cancer patient. She said, well, if this happens again, you have to go out in the emergency room and sit down in the waiting room. So the third time, the needle went in. So they put, I guess it's the dye or something that goes to see everything, put me in this machine, blah, blah, blah. And I come out, they told me to sit in a certain area in the emergency room. And I sat there for about maybe 5 minutes. But you remember, I was there for 8 hours. For about 5 minutes, and they called me right back. They asked me, did I have somebody with me? And I said, no. So I called my sister up to make sure she hear what they saying to me. So the lady came in, and she says, you have aneurysm on your main artery. And I'm like, I'm just looking at her because I'm shocked. And he said, and you look like you have ovarian cancer. And I'm just looking at him. So he said, "Do you have anything to say?" And I said, "No, because I haven't received that." So he told me that another doctor will be calling me at the time. So about a couple days later, I think it was exactly 3, Dr. Ogle called me his office and asked me to come in. So I get to Dr. Ogle's office, and he is a kidney. I said, "Wait a minute, hold it. I don't know anything about kidney. Nobody told me about my kidney at all." So then he says, well, he looked at the x-ray and he says that you have some type of mass blocking the right side of your kidney. And you have, leftover bowels in your stomach and urine. And you got to get that cleaned out. So I know I was having a problem going to the bathroom, but, I didn't say anything. So at that time, he said, he turns around after he looks and see all these patches in my stomach. He says, "What made you come in?" He said, "Because, ovarian cancer is a silent killer. What made you come in?" I told him about my sister. So then after that, that was the second doctor. About a couple days later, another doctor called me that got information from Dr. Ogle. Now, I'm not calling nobody. They calling me. So they wanted to do a biopsy on one of those mass in my stomach. So I went there, got the biopsy done, and then they wanted to do a chest x-ray. So I went there, got that chest x-ray done. So I forgot that second doctor name. He said, looking at my x-ray, he said, "I'm 98% that you have ovarian cancer." So he said, "I'm going to call Duke. And they'll be, if you get any call from North Carolina, pick the phone up." So, man, it wasn't even 3 or 4 days. I get down here to Duke, and she looks at my x-ray and everything, and that's what she told me. "You don't have an aneurysm on your chest walls. You don't have that at all," which is fine. Then she tells me by getting the chest x-ray back that I'm in my 4th stage of ovarian cancer. So she's telling me, and I'm still like, what? That's the way I was. So she's telling me that they do the same procedure if you were 3rd stage or 4th stage. So my sister, my mom, I take care of my sister and my mom. My sister and we take care of mom. That's it. And my mom is dementia. So she don't know what's going on. So at that time, we come back and my sister started, giving me, stuff to clean me out, detox, this and that. I mean, because that's the way she is holistically. And then as I think about it, I thought about that dream. That spiritually, they let me know. They let me know in that dream that they were going to be working on my body. But you're going to have to stay tuned for part 2.